Someone once asked if I had put in a bench so that they had somewhere to sit as they're coming in. And to me, that's a waste of time and energy because all you do is dust it off as you come through. We've designed the pharmacy so you don't have to wait. As you come in, there might be a line, but within 10 minutes, we've got you out of our store.
Friendly service and a pharmacist who knows you by name. Stapley Pharmacy, your complete family pharmacy. We'll have you out the door in 10 minutes.
All right, guys, again, first ever Region 9 Media Day. We'd like to welcome in the Snow Canyon Warriors. We've got a couple of players, and then Coach Matua and Coach Tusa, as well as the players. We've got Mr. Warner Rigby and Mr. Bowman Liu. Guys, thanks for being here. Coach Matua, let's just start with you and just kind of get your thoughts on the summer and the whirlwind that has become your first head coaching job at the high school level, and talk about the outlook and preview for the Snow Canyon football Warriors.
Thanks, Devin. Thanks to everybody for this opportunity that we have to be here to talk about our team and talk about our expectations for Snow Canyon High School football. As far as the summer went really well. We have some good boys that came out. They've worked hard, and they've continued to work hard to the point where we believe we're going to meet the expectations that we have set for this year. They've conditioned really well. They worked hard in the weight room. They have bought into the philosophy that we have instilled in our program. And I believe with that philosophy and with them believing in what we have instilled, I believe that we're going to be a team that's going to compete every game and is going to work hard and will be successful.
Coach, just a follow-up question with that. Talk about some players that have stood out that you have big expectations for, and they'll play a pivotal role in your success.
Well, the two gentlemen that I brought with me, Warner Rigby and Bowman Liu, are two leaders that have been selected by their teammates to be captains for our team, as well as two others that aren't here, in Trevor Horlocker and Connor Perry. Those four have the respect of all our players on the team, and they have exemplified and have stood out in regards to working out hard, conditioning hard, being good leaders, and meeting the expectations that we have laid out for each player on the football team. So those four gentlemen have done well, and we have a number of others that I can name names, but we'd be here for a while because I can name all the names for those on the freshman level, those at the JV level, and also those at the varsity level. So we have a lot of boys that have done a lot of sacrifice to be where they're at now, and we expect that when the time comes for them to come out and play, that they will perform to the best of their abilities.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Matua in his first year, and Coach Tusa here. We'll get some comments from Coach Tusa in just a bit. Last year, the Warriors 6-4, 3-3 in Region 9, and they averaged 25-plus points a game and gave up 22, and just missed the final week of the season, making the playoffs. We'll get back to a Q&A with the coaches in just a little bit, but let's start with first, guys, what I'm just having the players do is just introduce your position and talk about your excitement level for the season and your role as a captain of the Snow Canyon Warriors. Warner, we'll start with you.
All right, my name's Warner Rigby, and I'm going to be playing quarterback as well as free safety this year. And I'm extremely excited about this year. We've got a new coaching staff, and it's a new overall feeling as a team. We've got coaches who really believe in us, and we believe in them, and we have confidence in each other as a team. And I'm excited to be able to be a captain of this team and hopefully be able to lead out emotionally and have a successful season.
Bowman Liu. I play center, DN, and also long snap. Just wanted to say thank you for all of my teammates for nominating us as captains. That was just a really great thing for them to do. Yeah, just really excited about this season. We just got to come out strong and know that we got it in us to meet our goals.
All right, let's open it up to the rest of the media for Q&A.
All right, Warner, this question's for you. Did you played quarterback in the system before, and also if you have, did the playbook change with the new coaching staff, or did you guys keep a lot of the same that you've had in the past? And if not, how long did it take you to come up to speed with the new playbook?
You know, I just moved here from Kaysville last year, but I had lived in St. George for most of my life, and I grew up with these kids playing with them. I haven't played in the Snow Canyon high school system as a quarterback, so this will be my first year as a Snow Canyon quarterback, but we do have a entirely different offense this year with the new coaching staff. It's nothing like we've ever had, so I'm just as new to it as everyone else on the team. I'm really excited about our offense this year. It's really going to incorporate everyone, every position matters in this offense, and I think we're going to see a lot of success with it, and I'm excited to be able to lead it as a quarterback.
Real quickly, Coach Matua, have you officially named Warner your starting quarterback, or is this a battle that's ongoing in camp?
Warner Rigby is our starting quarterback, and so I know there's been word. I've heard it, and so just to make sure that everyone understands, Warner Rigby is our quarterback, and so he will run the quarterback for our system, and we have full confidence in him that he will lead our team to where we need to go. And that doesn't go to say that we don't have anybody else that can play that position. We do have capable quarterbacks. Jake Fry will be a great quarterback for us too. He brings some different skill set for our program. And if it so happens that if Warner were to get hurt and Jake Fry were to step up, same expectations would be for him to lead our team. Warner and Jake have worked hard, and we have decided at this point in time that Warner Rigby, because of what he's put, the effort that he's put through and what he's done in the off season and to now in being a leader for our team, he will lead our team, and that's the direction that we will go. But yet we'll prepare everybody else in that aspect to make sure that when their time is called, that they will continue to help us without taking a step back.
Warner, this question's for you. You said you really like this offense. It gets everyone involved. What is it that really sticks out to you as the quarterback that you like so much about it? Are you throwing 70% of the time, or is it just a lot of the reads?
Well, what we're running this year is kind of a variation of the double wing out of shotgun. And so with everyone so tight together, you can't really hide a player out as a receiver or something. Everyone's got to do their assignment and fulfill their responsibilities, or it doesn't work. So it really incorporates everyone. And so we're going to be mainly running, but we'll open it up and pass it too, and we've got to all work together to have success in this offense, and that's what I like about it, is everyone's got to come together, and we've got to have a good team effort to make it work.
Guys, there was not that long ago when Snow Canyon was the big dog on the block, undefeated seasons and state championships. Are you guys aware of the tradition in Snow Canyon, and is it something that you're striving to have return to your school, perhaps in gold, that kind of thing?
Yeah, we have this saying in Snow Canyon that we try to build our team around. It's called respect the past, but also we need to build the future. So we understand the great things that the older Snow Canyon teams have done. We just need to keep them in mind and try to just do what they did, follow in their footsteps.
Garrett Baylor, Spectrum. Warner, this question is for you. For a lot of us, you're new here, new quarterback in the system for Snow Canyon first time. Can you kind of describe your skill set and maybe what you kind of bring to the table for Snow Canyon as a quarterback?
Yeah, I'm more of an athletic quarterback. I've been working a lot on running, so I bring that double threat ability. I can run the ball, but I'm also a good passer. I can get it done in the passing game, and so either way, throwing or passing, I'll get it done, and that's why I fit this offense, is I'm able to run the ball as well, because we are a run-first team this year.
Well, I gotta ask you the question. Do you a long snap? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And then a lot of pressure because you're the only guy that watching on that. It's all on you. You're the goat or the hero, right?
Yes, sir.
Somebody's stepping in situations.
Yep. The only time you get yelled at is when you get a bad snap.
That's right.
The only time you get noticed, a bad snap.
You don't mind it? You like the pressure? You like the idea of playing?
Oh yeah, I like the pressure a lot. I've been long snapper for 3 years for Snow Canyon, so been used to it, used to the pressure.
Bring it, huh?
Trying to.
All right.
Bowman, Warner mentioned early on that there's kind of a different feeling this summer, and I asked a question to Coach Graff last year, and it seemed like there wasn't maybe people weren't on board, or there wasn't a big showing in summer last year. But do you agree with Warner that there is a different feeling this summer, and can you kind of describe that a little bit for us?
Yes, sir. I believe that our team comes together more just as players. I feel last year we had a lot of star players, and a lot of times that would kind of collage. We wouldn't really get together because people would want the ball, want more stats. But I believe this year we're just trying to play for each other, just trying to do the best we can. We're all friends, so yeah, tight-knit group.
Talk about, Warner, you said a run-first team. You guys lose a fantastic running back from last year in Mitch Phillips. Who is stepping up in the backfield this year?
You know, we have a couple players that are going to be really exciting this year that no one's really heard about in the past. And our starting tailback this year will be Connor Perry, and he's an extremely good athlete. He makes good cuts, good decisions, smart kid, and I'm excited to have him in the backfield with us. And we also have Trevor Horlocker, who's also one of our team captains, and he's an extremely good runner as well. And they haven't had much of a chance to showcase that in the past couple of years, but I think a lot of people will be surprised with how well they can run the ball and get it done.
You guys here, you're not picked to finish very high this year. You have a new coach, and last year was a so-so season. Do you hear those things? Is that motivation for you, or do you just kind of ignore them and say, we just got to do our thing?
It's definitely motivation. People don't expect much from us because of the past, but we don't live in the past. We're here for the now, and we've got a brand new coaching staff and really a brand new team of kids that have really bought in, and we're ready to sell out. And we're a close-knit group. All of us are great friends, and we fight for each other, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised with our level of play this year.
Devin Dixon here, guys. Just curious, take me through a Snow Canyon practice. I always like to know, kind of, from a player's perspective, how practice flows and what the intensity level is like.
Well, we'll warm up together all the ages, freshmen through seniors, varsity, and then we'll split into our groups, and we'll do like a little bit of conditioning, probably like 20 minutes, and then from there we'll split, and we'll have the JV and the freshmen go down and lift, and then we keep the varsity up together, and we'll either do an offensive day or a defensive day. And I like that because I think it's easier to keep the intensity level up when you're not going against somebody that's a little bit smaller and not as skilled. And then once we go about that way for about an hour, then we'll flip, and then we'll get the varsity in the weight room, try to hit it hard. So yeah.
A couple more questions for Bowman or Warner. All right, guys, congratulations on being here, and captains your team, and I wish you the best. Let's now open it up and bring back in Coach Tusa, assistant coach, and head coach Marcus Matua, and open it up to the media.
Coach, has it been tough kind of get some guys out this year, or with the new coaching staff, did the whole school jump on board this year to get a lot of guys out play football?
I think we did when we first met and signed up. My first meeting, we had a sign-up sheet. We had over 100 people, 100 boys sign up. And then as off-season conditioning started March 18th, there was a lot of boys that showed up. But as it continued, people understanding that you have to get up at 6 a.m. from Monday to Thursday, work out and do your conditioning, numbers dwindled. And then through summer camp, we had our padded camp right after school got out. And then with family, with summer vacations, with church activities, numbers weren't there, so it was off and on. But then as soon as we came back for padded camp July 8th, we had our numbers where we wanted to be. So at 80. And then we took a week off, and then we came back July 22nd, and our numbers have held consistently. And so I'm pleased with the numbers. I would love to have 100 boys in our program, but at this point in time, I'm satisfied with 80. The school has been supportive. They've been great. They have been what I've expected from them. They've all been very positive in this new transition, and it's been good. And just seeing the boys out there, I mean, it's fun. It's been fun. I mean, the summer's been a great one, and just being out there, enjoying the interactions with the boys, and instilling our philosophy and holding them accountable to our expectations. And they are believing. And I believe that when the time comes for us to step on the field, these guys will know what it's like to be successful. And it's not just going to be one game. I mean, we're going to go out, we're going to compete, we're going to do what we have taught them to do, and they will perform. And that is the expectation. And so these boys know what our expectations are, and I know and believe that they will fulfill those expectations.
There's some great programs at Snow Canyon. Baseball, perennial, great team, basketball team. So do you feel like that you're maybe in the future going to need to recruit on your own campus and get some of those athletes who have been choosing just to play one or two sports out to football as well?
We have already done that. I mean, we have some seniors that have came back that haven't played football for the past 2-3 years. So we've already done that. I mean, we have some basketball players that would, that's their first sport of choice, but they come out and play football. We have baseball players as well, who were state champions last year that have come out. And then we have rugby players, and you can guarantee those rugby players would rather be playing rugby than football, but it's great to have them out there. And then it goes for track as well. So we've already done that, gone out to get these boys to be involved, and they have come out and they have participated well.
This question for Coach Tusa. Coach Tusa, from a coaching perspective, number one, I asked the boys, are the playbooks for both offensive and defensive radically different? And if they are, from a coaching perspective, how has the comprehension level of the kids been in grasping the playbooks?
Well, before I answer that, let me make a comment, if I might. I was interested in the comment that started this session where you talked about how the coaches in Southern Utah care about the players. And I've always maintained, if we can't, as coaches, feel like we've helped these players become better young men, there is no justification for high school athletics, period. It's not just winning and losing. Of course, you want to win, obviously. As far as the program that we've got here now, Coach Matua has put in a very solid program. It is different than last year, but in a positive way. And the players are buying into it and doing well. And we're encouraging our players that we expect to be leaders, that you're a leader by what you do. It's not what you say, it's what you do. And they're buying into that also. And I truly believe that if we continue to improve as we have all summer, that I'm not going to give you any numbers in terms of wins and losses, but we'll be successful. We'll have a good, solid program and things will go well. And I'm just pleased to be part of the program. And I've been coaching for a long, long time.
Coach, head coaches at Snow Canyon, not named Jacobson, have had a hard time. For you, does this make this assignment daunting, considering kind of like this, I mean, he's still alive, but kind of this ghost of Jacobson kind of hangs over the program. The team hasn't been in the playoffs since 2006. What does that do as far as a challenge for you?
Well, I know Coach Jacobson, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for that man. And he is the one that has set the expectation, the bar for Snow Canyon High football. So the traditions that he set are the traditions that we will still keep at Snow Canyon High School, as well as implement our own traditions here. Touch Gold will forever be a tradition that Snow Canyon will always have. And you'll see that on the football field. When it's time to touch gold, you'll see our players touch the gold helmets and rally around each other to support our teammates. As far as pressure or to meet up to that expectations, as far as I'm concerned, I've already talked to the players about this. Pressure only comes to those that aren't prepared. And so I believe that we are prepared. We have prepared ourselves to be ready for every game that's going to be played. So against San Juan, for every practice that we do, we are prepared. And so I've already talked to these boys, pressure, there is no pressure if you know what you're expected to do. And you take it one play at a time, fulfill your task one play at a time, pressure is never relevant. So as far as this goes in regards to being successful as a head coach, I could care less about myself. I mean, and what I do. I don't care about my record and how I'm going to be compared to any of the other coaches in the region or at Snow Canyon High School. What I care about is making sure that these boys are successful in everything that they do aside from football, and then when they do football, to be successful in that as well. And it's all based on the philosophy that we have set in regards to our Warriors Code, and the boys know that. And if they follow through with that, that's what I'm proud of. And so we don't talk about wins and losses. What we talk about is success. And we talk about, building the character in these boys. And when they can do that, understanding the will and desire to improve, to move forward, to be better, and then having the attitude and holding themselves accountable to what they do, understand what their responsibilities are and holding them accountable to that, having a positive attitude, and then inspiring others just based upon what they've done. And then understanding that, obstacles will be there. They will be faced with their own trials, but they have got to learn that they have their own brothers, they have their coaches, they have their families, they have, if they're religious, their man upstairs to help them overcome. And we talk about being resilient. These boys, there will be times when, you play all the Region 9 teams here, it's going to be a battle. And so we prepare these boys that, when that time comes, you got to dig deep. And there's been many experiences with many of the boys on our team that they know that. I mean, especially with our rugby boys, baseball, last year faced with, having to win 3 games. Those guys have been through it. And so their experience will help us out. And then in the end, they will be successful in accomplishing what they intend to do. And we plan to go to state. And we plan to take state. And we are going to do that. We believe that. I mean, the question is, we haven't been so successful. The new coaches here in town, we've heard it. We are at the bottom of the list. And people have said, give them a couple years, but we don't believe that. When we talk to our boys, why not this year? And the boys have taken on that. This year we will be successful. It'll be it'll be a tough schedule to go through, but we believe that our school, our team, will be at the state championship November 22nd.
Coach, you mentioned some other kids coming out for the team. I know Nate Gofferson was going to come out. His brother Ben, I got to coach him on basketball. He's one of the hardest working kids ever. How's Nate doing along with some of the other baseball players that have come out in positions for those kids?
Nate Gofferson is awesome, and he has the tools. I mean, he's been away from football for a couple years, and so he's starting to get back into it. He's been gone, with all his vacations that he's been on, which has been great because there's 4 things that we believe in that's more important than football and whatnot, and he's been able to go and do that. And so when the time comes for him to put on pads, we expect him to be a player for us, and he's working hard, and he will see playing time. As far as the baseball players go, I mean, you talk about those that played on state, you talk about Jake Fry, you talk about Brady Sargent, you talk about Clint Gates. Those gentlemen there will help us. I mean, Jake Fry, he's going to be our backup quarterback at this point in time, but he's got the skill sets. I mean, if Warner goes down, we know that when Jake steps in, he's going to help us. And so Clint Gates, that dude's clutch. From baseball, he's clutch, and I've told him about that. I call him champ. I call them champs because I have a lot of respect because they inspired me. So I know that they will help us. So the baseball players will be there. The rugby players that we have, they will help us. Basketball players that we have, they will help us. So we have some good athletes that have come out because of what we've instilled. They believe, and I know they believe, and people will believe too. When they see us step on the field, they will know this is Snow Canyon football, and they are back.
Coach, can you tell us a little bit about your background, where you came from, where you developed your philosophy as a coach, things like that?
My first year as a football coach was at Payson High School, and I coached together with Jeremy Chapman. This was in 2005. So I coached 2 years at Payson High School, and then started the season of 2008. Came here, and actually 2006 was in Payson. 2008, my first year here at Snow Canyon High School, served under Rick Seacrest, and then coached 3 years under Coach Graft. My philosophy's always changed, and the philosophy that I have now is just based on philosophy of coaching with Coach Jensen in girls basketball, Coach Boudity, Coach Dave in rugby. Some of the stuff I've learned from Coach Graft and Coach Seacrest, as well as in Payson. So there's a lot of things that have played a part in my philosophy now. And my philosophy now is about the boys and them being successful, them building character within themselves. And when they can do that, everything else will come.
Coach Tusa, kind of a similar question. I don't know a lot about you, but what is the relationship with you and Coach Matua like behind the scenes? Maybe not on the football field.
Well, I'm pleased to be part of this program. We have a great relationship. I respect him as not only a young man, but as a coach. Like I say, we got a good, solid program in place, and we'll do well. We don't ask a whole lot of the boys. We just say we want you to give us everything you've got. That's all we ask of them. And if they can come off the field when a game is over and look me in the eye and say, Coach, I did my very best, fine. That's all we're asking is you do your very best, whatever that is. And the rest of it will take care of itself. And they're buying into that, and they're doing that kind of thing. But Coach has a good relationship with the players, and that's important also. Not just, he's not sitting up on a pedestal somewhere. He's down with the players on the field and doing well, and we're going to have a good season, and the season's coming on will be good also. And like I say, I've done this for a long time.
Final questions here. A couple more. Garrett?
Garrett Bailey with the Spectrum. Coach Matua, we've already heard the ghost of Jacobson, but there are other pressures out there. The ghost of 6 years not making the playoff, also the ghost of community. How can you and how are you doing as far as being able to silence all those things and keeping the boys tight-knit and buying into the system and buying into, like we said, the now?
Well, we had 2 parent meetings before the season started, and explained to the parents philosophy, explained to them this, if you have a concern, there's a parent code of conduct that we want all parents to sign, and how they should act at games. And then we set a grievance form as to how they should, if they have concerns regarding their players' playing time, how it should be done, and they will be held to that expectation. But the community, the parents, they've been great. I love the community I live in. I mean, you hear it. There's people that would like to see other people play. There's going to be people disappointed from this interview hearing that Warner Rigby is our starting quarterback. That goes with the territory. I'm sure a lot of people would be upset if somebody else was going to play here, and I'm sure, I'm going to get a lot of emails regarding my interview as to why is this, why is that. But I'm doing my best to inform each and every parent of the expectations of this program and letting them know what we're doing. So every week on our website, every week I'm emailing them, letting them know what's going on. And so I'm trying to make sure the communication process is there between parents and myself. And so, with every community, people are not going to be happy. We go to state, we take state, people are still going to be upset about, they shouldn't have done this, but, that comes, and that's not my concern. If I had a player that was concerned about something, that would be my concern, because I want to address their concerns and do what I can to resolve those concerns so they can still be a part of this team. So the community's been great. I wish everybody was on board, but not everybody's on board, and this train ain't going to wait for them to do that, and this train will move forward with or without them.
Coach, X's and O's wise, talent level wise, when you size up the rest of the region, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the rest of the region. And then what makes you just really excited about the success that you think you can have this year?
Just the boys believing in it, because how things have happened, my philosophy's been built on a lot of experience. And so I believe our team will compete. We talk about Hurricane, and I love Hurricane, have a great amount of respect for Chris Homer. And I just met him yesterday. But just watch their team play and how they play and how dedicated they are in playing, I have a lot of respect for what they do. Homegrown talent, regardless of what boys leave to go somewhere else, someone's ready to pop up and play in that position, and they continue to go. And so we talk about Desert Hills, Coach Frankie, another good friend. He's got them competing at a high level. They've been successful the past 2 years. They got the same goals we do. They want to go to the state. And so he's got them. The word is, they're looking for a quarterback. Well, that quarterback will be up to speed, and I guarantee by the time that we play them, their quarterback is going to be good. So we're going to have our work cut out for us. Then you talk about Coach Monkers and his team, state champions last year, upset Juan Diego, go and kill Spanish Fork, and then they have good momentum coming into this year, and they get a quarterback that can throw to those 4 receivers, yeah, another dogfight. And so, yeah, Pineview's always talented. They have the talent there to compete. And so, you know, that's our first region game, so we know it's going to be tough. Ain't no cakewalk with them. And then you see Payson. I mean, my buddy's coaching at Payson, and when I talked to him last year in regards to, because I watched the game last year against Desert Hills, and it was a good game. They had players in place to make plays, but they didn't. So when I spoke to them, it's like, you know, one thing is you have players there, you have talent there. You just got to go out and make the plays. Then Cedar's always going to be tough with their option, and you know they find a couple players in that option, and they're smooth sailing there too. I mean, last year, 2 years ago, their quarterback that transferred from up north, and he came in, man, he made Cedar look really good. And talking to my friends who played at Cedar, and they say, you know, he didn't run the option really well. He was just very athletic. Well, athleticism does a lot to a team. And then we have us, you know, and for me, I don't count ourselves out. I look at that, and our boys look at that, and we've talked about that. You know, within us, within ourselves, we want them to think that, you know, no one can beat us. But as you're out and about with other teams, you know, there's a fine line with confidence and cockiness. And that's when you start opening your mouth and running your mouth, and then that's when trouble becomes. But if you have it in your mind, you have it in your heart, and you play hard, you play smart, equals the opportunity of success. And that's a football philosophy that we abide by. The rest of that is up to us as coaches. So for us to be successful, it comes down to everyone a part of this program.
Got time for one more question for Coach Matua or Coach Tusa? All right, guys, we sure appreciate here first ever Region 9 Media Day for giving us some of your time, and we wish you nothing but the best success this year. Warner Rigby, Mr. Lou, and our coaches here from Snow Canyon. Guys, thanks again. Mike, Andy?